One of the big surprises of the last week was that sanctuary cities appeared to be derailed yesterday, although I'm told that there are many ways it could come back to life in the last couple of days. Can you talk from the perspective of what you witnessed yesterday with Senator Williams stripping HB 12 of the sanctuary cities legislation and replacing it with the omnibus Homeland Security language? Where do we stand on that?
Well, Senator Williams has always said that the sanctuary bill got put on his lap. It was something he did not seek out willingly, but as chair of the committee, he accepted that responsibility. And in discussions with him, particularly with members of the Hispanic caucus and all the Democrats, he had promised that it would be something, that the process would be fair and that the outcome would be fair. We were very worried about profiling, about law enforcement and what this meant to community policing, and a treatment of Texas citizens that we've never seen before, based on if you look like someone who just might not be here legally. And so I've got to tell you, Tommy was straight up with us. He was extremely frustrated that there was no movement on his bill on IDs, which was the Senate Bill 9. And I think that that was his continued way to say, you know, the House is not moving on what we think is an identification bill that would help very much in this whole argument and debate about legal citizenship. So I wasn't really surprised, but I'm going to tell you that there is nothing more emotional and more heart-wrenching than what we witnessed in the House. And if you get a subject like sanctuary cities up on that Senate floor, when we've had members on that floor that have been deported, when we've had, you rip our families, it's very personal. And because the Senate is the Senate with such a small group, and we are friends, I think that he knew, and our colleagues know, the real threat of severing lifelong friendships because of what the political rhetoric needed to be. It may surface, it may not, right. But in testimony yesterday, I think people know that the quickest way to derail right now the Texas Senate is to put sanctuary cities, as it came out of the House, put it on that Senate floor.
Right. Senator Ellis, the question was whether the Republicans had enough votes to bring this up using the two-thirds rule as a benchmark. Obviously, the Republicans have managed to get around the two-thirds rule at least once, if not more than once, during this session. The fact is, what Senator Van de Putte is probably saying is probably true, that as the bill came over from the House, it's probably going to have a hard time coming up. But there are procedural tools available to the Senate to make it happen, aren't there?
Well, before I answer that, 2 points. One is that all of us in this room, our ancestors at least, got here as illegal immigrants. You know, unless some of y'all been masquerading as something other than Native Americans. Don't think anybody's ancestors got here legally. Mine clearly, I was clearly got here illegally, but we're glad we're here. I want to point that out. Okay. I'm not complaining about it.
We have that on the record now. Okay, good.
There are only 4 majority-minority states in the country. I always point this out. First one was Hawaii, New Mexico, California, Texas. I think Republicans in Texas do want to stay in power. They clearly know that you're talking about offending a major block of votes. And there are not 21 votes to bring the bill up. I'm not all that sure that my Republican colleagues really want a, quote, sanctuary city bill. I think they want to talk about it because I don't think that they want to offend that block. What Chairman Williams did yesterday, and I'm on that committee, what he did was substitute some sensible language that deals with the issues that people are talking about when they say we got to do something about sanctuary cities. It really is a homeland security issue. It is a national issue as well. And that bill that passed through the Senate ought to get serious consideration in the House. With that being said, I assume the House will strip it out if it gets over there and send it back in the language that they want in it. We have to gauge whether or not we're going to give 21 votes to bring it up and make sure one of our colleagues does not get a lot of pressure to do it by 16 votes.
There are no Democratic votes to bring this bill up, as far as you know.
So as I know, and I don't think they have all the Republicans either.
No, and there's quite a discomfort with some of our Republican colleagues. Number one, because of the sensitivity of the subject matter, but also it's economics. And they realize that the core of this problem is at the federal level, and that this exacerbates that.